It is time to buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, as it appears there are some developments occurring with the San Francisco 49ers. We already know Deebo Samuel got traded. He might not be the last. Adam Schefter just joined the Pat McAfee show and was asked about potential rumors that, Brandon Aiyuk might get traded. Well, it's a pretty interesting answer by Adam Schefter, and I'll give you my thoughts on it as well on the other side. Take a listen to Adam Schefter reacting to the kind of state where the 49ers are in regards to potential roster turnover. Take a listen right here.
Last week, Deebo, he gets traded. Obviously, immediately after that, there's people on the internet calling him a fatso and that was going on. He tweeted like, whoa, I'm not a fatso, and get ready for this new bod that's coming for the Washington Commies next year. That'll be awesome. Now, the rumors are circulating that Brandon Aiyuk might be getting moved, and obviously John Lynch mentioned, we got to get younger, and with these looming contracts, it makes sense they need to kind of get cheaper as well. Is Aiyuk kind of available? Are teams calling for Brandon Aiyuk, and is his injury from last year and the lots of money contract that he has currently, is that going to hurt his trade status going into next year?
Well, again, I think that the 49ers in their particular financial situation are open to listening on just about anybody, right? And so if there's a team out there that is willing to take on the Brandon Aiyuk contract with him coming off the torn ACL, I'm sure they would listen, absolutely. But again, you've got to find a team that's willing to take on the player with the injury, with the contract. That's not a simple thing to do. Look, if there's no knee injury, it's a simple deal. But because there's a knee injury, because he may miss the first half of next season, and there are questions about when he'll get back next year, there are a whole host of pending issues. But the Niners, again, for them to play in the free agency sandbox, they're going to have to find ways to clear out salary, whether that's through Brandon Aiyuk or Jordan Mason or any other player that they don't bring back or let go. They have to find ways to get money to help field the kind of roster that they want. So if an offer comes in on Brandon Aiyuk and there's a team out there that's willing to take on that particular situation, I'm sure they would be open to listening to it.
Okay, so with this comes the Brock Purdy deal, having to pay your quarterback. You can't pay everybody else. It's kind of the game. Got a young quarterback, you can pay everybody else. You get a quarterback that gets paid, you got to figure it out. Howie was able to debunk this system. Same with the Chiefs and Brett Veach, but normally that's how it goes in the quarterback world. Unless you get some of these veteran quarterbacks that may be cheaper priced.
So as you can hear from Adam, it sounds like the 49ers are absolutely willing to listen to any offer on Brandon Aiyuk. And when initially this came across the notion of trading Brandon Aiyuk, it didn't make too much sense to me for the fact of, you're not going to get a return on him in regards to compensation, because not only are you trading his contract, but he's hurt. There's no guarantee that he will play, just like Schefter said. So you're not getting value for him. And so it really didn't make much sense to me until it was kind of broken down contractually of maybe how the 49ers could actually get out of Brandon Aiyuk's contract by trading him. They would effectively get out of 4 years, $110 million. And then when I kind of pieced that together, I was like, if they can get out of his contract, even if it means paying him what they paid in upfront guarantees, not getting much in return, I would imagine he gets less than Deebo in a trade based on everything that we talked about. But they get out of 4 years, $110 million worth of his contract. That's where it becomes like, ooh, boy. And we know there were a couple teams that were hot and heavy on the Brandon Aiyuk hype last year. And he was almost traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know that the Patriots and Browns were in on it, but BA didn't want to go to either one of those teams. So it was basically the Steelers or bust. And the 49ers ultimately gave into the contract demands and paid him but it really does sound like they are having a change of heart. And so I'm trying to think of how I want to word this. Um, I I do kind of understand on what Adam Schefter is saying based on some things that I'm also hearing as well. So I'm prepared. I'm prepared for anything. I do think that the 49ers are looking to make some pretty substantial changes. Debo being one of them. If they do ultimately get out of this contract with Brandon Aiyuk and trading him to, let's say, the Patriots, I do think that creates an interesting situation in regards to what the future holds for everyone else on the team and what that looks for. Because if you trade BA, the 49ers top wide wide receivers would be Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings. Obviously, Devontae Adams was just released. Maybe you bring him in as well. But I don't know, man. This is an evolving situation, and it is evolving quickly, especially considering the fact that the new legal tampering starts on the 10th. So that's why all these moves are happening. All these trades are going down. All these moves are trying to happen before free agency hits. And so if something happens, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens within the next couple days. So we say it all the time, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's a reason why when we see certain rumors starting to kind of percolate, we don't just disregard them. We try to understand them better. We try to see, does this even make sense functionally? And even if it might not make sense to us, you have to put yourself in the shoes of the people who are in charge. And even though it might not make sense to a fan, it might make a lot of sense to someone who is paying out these contracts. So while I was like really like, I'm like, oh, Brandon Ayuk trade, probably not going to happen. It still might not happen, but I have taken a big swing in regards to the viability of where I think that lands. And I do think based on, everything that I'm hearing and what we're kind of now seeing, pop out is there is a chance. There's a real chance that Brandon Ayuk gets traded. We just have to see if anyone bites and if the 49ers are willing to take what is offered. So put your seatbelts on, ladies and gentlemen. Things are going to get. I don't think the fireworks are over yet. So, like I said, turn those post notifications on and make sure you're tapped in because I think there's going to be a lot of fireworks going on. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.